It was almost midnight. I was brushing my teeth, feeling the weariness of the day pressing down, when my phone buzzed insistently. I froze. My eyes landed on the screen. Dad. He never called this late. My hand shook as I answered. The moment I heard his voice, I knew something was horribly wrong. It was trembling, almost panicked. The first words out of his mouth cut through the quiet of the night. Don't answer the doorbell, no matter what. Just trust me. I barely had time to ask what he meant when it happened. 3 loud, sharp knocks echoed from the front door. Each one made my heart leap violently. Whoever was outside knew I was home. I'm Lila Hayes, 25, living alone in a small, quiet neighborhood just outside Denver. My house is a modest, one-story home with a tiny backyard, a porch swing that barely gets used, and the comforting presence of my dog, Max. It's old, but cozy enough for me and my little routines. That Friday night started like any other. I had ordered Thai food, wrapped up a long day at work, and settled on the couch with a crime documentary playing, the kind with eerie music and overly dramatic voiceovers. I always chuckle at how ridiculous they are. I even texted my cousin Ella during a fake jump scare, teasing her about the terrible acting. Everything felt normal, safe. My doors were locked, lights dimmed, sleep creeping in. I walked into the bathroom, tied my hair back, and started brushing my teeth. Then my phone rang. Dad's name lit up the screen, and I froze. He never calls late unless it's serious, not emotional, not dramatic. He's a quiet man, retired military, always composed. But fear in his voice meant danger. He didn't even say hello. "Are you at home?" he asked. "Yes," I said, confused. "Are your doors locked?" "Yes. Why? What's happening?" And then he said it. "Don't answer the doorbell. Someone might come to your house. Just trust me, Lila." I could hear it in his tone. This wasn't a guess, a warning out of paranoia. He knew something. Before I could ask another question, he hung up. I stood there, toothbrush in hand, heart racing, unsure whether to laugh or panic. Was this overreaction? A bad dream? Then, 3 hard, deliberate knocks on my front door. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. It didn't feel like a visitor. It felt like someone testing, probing, aware I was inside. Slowly, I backed out of the bathroom, turned off the hallway light, and crouched behind the couch, clutching my phone like a lifeline. My dad's warning repeated in my mind. Don't answer the doorbell. Just trust me. 3 knocks. That was enough to twist my world upside down. Silence followed, heavier than the knocks themselves. No yelling, no shadowy figure at the window, no speeding car, just a suffocating quiet. I didn't know if they were still there or had vanished. My house, simple as it was, had no cameras or security lights, only regular locks and a porch light that I had turned on earlier for Max. Now it was dark. Completely dark. I edged across the floor toward the window, staying low. Peeking under the blinds, I saw nothing. Empty porch. Porch light off. I hesitated, hand hovering over the switch. What if they were still there, just out of view? What if flipping it on signaled I was near the door? Fear rooted me in place. I crawled back, pulled my legs in, trying to steady my breath. My fingers trembled as I opened Dad's contact and hit redial. 1 ring, 2 rings. Then he picked up. "Lila, listen carefully." His voice was sharper now, urgent, full of tension. "Whatever you do not open that door. Someone is watching you." I hugged the phone, heart pounding, every muscle tense. The quiet of the night pressed against the walls, heavy and threatening. I wanted to scream, to run, to check, but I couldn't. I could only wait, clinging to Dad's voice, each knock, each shadow, each sound magnified in my mind. That night changed everything. And it all began with a single call I almost didn't answer. "Dad," I whispered, my voice barely audible. "Someone knocked 3 times, just like you said." Silence hung on the line for a second, then I heard the faint roar of a car engine in the distance. "I'm 10 minutes away. Are all the doors locked?" "Yes, I checked them twice," I stammered, heart racing. "Stay low. Turn off all the lights. Don't answer your phone unless it's me. Don't make a sound." "Who is it? What's happening?" "I'll explain when I get there. Just stay hidden. Don't go near the door." And then he hung up again. I was trembling, frozen between panic and reason. Should I call the police, text a friend, or run for the back door and sprint down the street? But I trusted him. His voice had that controlled, tense edge. He was scared, but trying not to show it. Max, my dog, had started a low growl. He stood in the hallway, rigid, ears pricked, eyes locked on the front door. He didn't bark, which made it even creepier. I tiptoed over, gently pulling him back into the bedroom, shutting the door behind us, and sank to the floor, back against it. My mind spun in endless loops. Was it a burglar? Some stranger at the wrong house? Or something worse? And why had Dad known this would happen? Yesterday had seemed ordinary. No tailing cars, no strange messages, no odd phone calls. Everything had been normal, until now. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. Not a call this time. A text from my younger cousin, Ella. "Are you okay? Something weird happened at my friend's house tonight. Thought of you. Call me if you can." I typed back quickly, fingers shaking. What happened? Someone just knocked at my door. Dad told me not to answer. She didn't reply. No typing bubble, nothing. My unease twisted tighter in my stomach. Pieces of a puzzle hovered in the dark, but I couldn't fit them together. Something was happening, and somehow I was in the middle of it. I sat clutching Max's collar, phone in the other hand, eyes darting to the back window, the one signal Dad and I had used when he came home late from work. Every sound outside made me flinch. Every creak of the house reverberated in my chest. Panic and confusion collided inside me. One thing was certain. Something was wrong, and it had followed me to my front door. Frozen on the bedroom floor, barely blinking, I felt Max's body tense against mine. His ears stayed sharp, eyes locked on the door. My phone rested in my lap, screen dark, but I checked it repeatedly, waiting for any sign, any clue to make sense of the nightmare unfolding. The knocks echoed in my mind, 3 of them, steady, deliberate, intentional. Not a casual visitor, not random, testing, waiting. My stomach twisted with dread. I tried to breathe, tried to calm myself, but every sound, the creak in the wall, the wind rattling the blinds, the fridge motor humming, felt deafening in the silence. Then Dad's warning hit me again. Don't go near the door. The back door, the patio door, crossed my mind. I usually kept it locked, but tonight, I wasn't sure. Slowly gripping Max's collar, I crept down the hallway. Lights off. Streetlight spilling faintly through the blinds guided my path. I hugged the walls, past the front room, peeking cautiously around corners. When I reached the back door, my heart sank. The lock was half turned. I froze, staring at it. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. Then, fumbling, I slid the bolt fully into place with a solid click. Standing there, frozen, I tried to remember. Had I left it like this? I hadn't used that door in 2 days. Someone else must have touched it. Panic surged. I backed away, grabbed a chair from the kitchen, wedging it under the doorknob like in the movies. It didn't make me safer, but it gave me a semblance of control. Back in the hallway, I went window by window. Living room, bathroom, kitchen, locked, blinds closed, every possible entry secured. And yet, the feeling of being watched, hunted, lingered. My house was sealed tight, but it didn't feel safe. Just as I reached the hallway, my phone lit up again. Dad, I'm on your street. Back window, right side of the house. Knock twice and wait. I bolted to the side fence window, carefully pushing the curtain aside. 2 soft knocks answered my silent wait. I cracked the window and whispered, "Dad?" "It's me," he said quietly. "Let me in. I'll explain everything." I unlocked the window and stepped back as he climbed through, just like when I was a kid and forgot my keys. Hoodie, jeans, no coat, no flashlight. He closed the window behind him, locking it with a single click. I looked at him, really looked, and saw exhaustion. Not physical, mental. He carried the weight of something heavy, something he had been holding for far too long. "What's going on?" I asked, voice shaking. "Who was at my door?" He exhaled deeply, leaning against the wall. Someone from our past. Someone I hoped we'd never have to deal with again. I blinked, trying to process. "What do you mean?" He rubbed his hands together, stalling, then said, "Years ago, before high school even, I got involved with something. A man I worked with, back when I was still in the army. Things went bad, really bad. He made threats against me, against you. I never told you because he vanished. We thought he was gone for good. And now he's back, I whispered, disbelief creeping in. Dad nodded. I got a call from someone I trust. Said he'd been asking about you, asking where you live, might already be in town. When I heard that, I didn't hesitate. I called you and got in the truck immediately. My heart pounded, but now with understanding, not fear. This wasn't a prank, not a random stranger. This was someone dangerous, with purpose. The front door, the knocks, the back door's half-turned lock, the lights flicking off, everything started to fit. I should have called the police, I murmured. Dad shook his head. If you'd opened that door, tried to be brave, it could have been worse. I needed you to do exactly what you did. Stay quiet, stay still, trust me. I sank to the floor, weight pressing on my chest. I'd done nothing but follow instructions, and stayed safe. For the first time, I realized how thin the line is between a normal night and a nightmare. I stared at him, tangled in thought. A man from his past, a threat serious enough to send Dad racing through the night, a warning sharp enough to make him sound unlike himself. His eyes, tired, focused, unblinking, revealed he'd carried this burden longer than I knew. Who was he? I asked again. Dad didn't name him. Someone I served with, stationed overseas in a unit outside the usual chain of command. He started making dangerous choices. I reported him. It didn't go well. I nodded, letting him set the pace. He blamed me for everything, said I ruined his life when he got kicked out. Threats followed. I didn't take them seriously until things started happening. Garage break-ins, your mom's car tire slashed, that note on the back door when you were 12. All him. I stared, remembering. I remember that night. You said it was probably a teenager. I wanted to protect you, he said softly. Too young to understand the kind of hate that follows you. And now he's back? He was quietly released last year. I found out just last week. Tried to stay calm, thought it would pass, but then a friend called, said someone matching his description was asking questions near your street, showed a photo of you, called your name out loud. Everything inside me went still. Why would he come after me? I was just a kid. Exactly, Dad said. That's why. To hurt me, emotionally, to reach me through you. He once told me the cruelest way to make someone suffer is to make them feel powerless. I understood it now, too well. Suddenly a knock sounded at the door, not the slow, testing knocks from before. This one was fast, firm, unmistakably familiar. I jumped, my heart leaping into my throat, but Dad's hand landed on my arm, steadying me. That's the police. I asked them to swing by once I got here. He moved to the front door, opening it just enough to reveal his face. 2 officers stood there, calm but imposing. I stepped closer, straining to hear. The taller officer spoke first. Sir, we picked him up. Found 2 blocks over, sitting in a car behind the gas station. No ID knife in the glove box. Printed photo of a young woman. Matches your daughter. My stomach dropped. He's in custody. Won't be released anytime soon. We'll need statements from both of you, but you're safe now. Safe. The word felt hollow. Relief mingled with violation. That stranger, a ghost from Dad's past, had been near my street with a weapon and a photo of me. If my dad hadn't called when he did, if I had answered the door, if I'd even flicked on the porch light, what would have happened? After the officers left, I stepped outside with Dad. Morning air was sharp, the sky tinged with light. My street looked ordinary, quiet, still. But I didn't feel normal. Not even close. You saved me, I whispered. I did what any dad would, he replied. But you saved yourself too. You listened. You didn't open that door. I know how easy it would have been. I almost did, I admitted. 2 seconds away. He looked at me, eyes locked, and said something I'll never forget. Survival isn't always fighting back. Sometimes it's staying still when every instinct tells you to move. You stayed still. That's what saved you. The porch light flickered above us. A glitch, nothing more, but it made me jump. I glanced at him. Can we get a new light? He laughed. First real laughter in hours, short, but it felt like a crack in the tension, a release for both of us. It wasn't over, not emotionally. The knocks, the silence, the darkness, they would haunt me. But for now, I was safe, with answers, and with Dad by my side. The man who never stopped protecting me, even from things I couldn't see coming. Weeks have passed, yet it still lingers in my mind. A knock at the door makes me freeze, just a moment, long enough to remember. Locks changed, cameras installed, motion lights added, doorbell linked to my phone. I check it constantly. But the biggest change is inside me. Before that night, I thought I knew fear. Nervousness, anxiety, paranoia, TV-style fear. But this was real, raw, unscripted. And it could have ended differently with one wrong move. What amazes me most is how ordinary it started. My home, my safe place. Watching shows, texting Ella, laughing at a staged warning. And then, in an hour, my own real warning arrived, and I survived because I listened. I've thought a lot about Dad. That night, I saw him in a new light. Protective, yes, quiet, strong, but carrying a weight I'd never understood. He had faced danger before I even realized it existed. And when it returned, he acted immediately, trusting me to follow his instructions without explanation. I still think about what could have happened if I hadn't listened. If I'd questioned him, shrugged it off, opened that door. Someone had been out there, a weapon in hand, a photo of me in view. I can't fully process that. But I do know this. I stayed inside, I stayed still, and that made all the difference. I locked every door, double-checked the windows. I waited, I trusted. It might not sound heroic. To some, doing nothing seems like nothing at all. But that night, inaction was survival. I didn't panic, I didn't fight. I followed the voice that had guided me since childhood, Dad's voice. And for the first time, I realized how right it had always been. Since then, our family has grown even closer. Ella, my cousin, and I talk nearly every day now. Later, she told me her friend's house had been visited by the same man, asking about anyone named Lila, chilling. And when we pieced it together, we realized she had seen him standing across the street earlier that day, unaware at the time that he was watching. I've learned to trust my instincts more sharply. Fear isn't weakness, it's a warning. And when someone you love tells you to trust them, you truly listen. That night taught me how fragile normal life really is. How quickly everything can shift. One phone call, one knock on the door, and suddenly the ground beneath you feels unstable. But it also showed me something stronger. Real, protective, unshakable love can intervene before danger even crosses the threshold. I'm still healing. I still check every lock 3 times before bed. I keep my phone within arm's reach and Max curled by my side. Yet I also feel stronger, more aware, more grateful. Grateful for the warning, grateful for Dad, who didn't try to explain everything at once but trusted me to listen, and grateful that I did. Because sometimes the scariest part of danger is that you don't even know it's danger until it's right in front of you. And sometimes the greatest act of courage is not opening the door. If this story resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your stories too.